Good evening. I'm crouching a bit because it's difficult to get this in a shot. But look at that. That is the kitchen garden. And while you can obviously tell that lines aren't completely straight, the boxes are situated now in the place they are going to stay for a good while. My husband went through and lined them all up somewhat, and then he leveled them. It's very difficult because our terrain goes like this. It's a giant slope, and then on the cross section it goes like this. So imagine what fun he had trying to level them even somewhat, because the end is so much higher up than the bottom. So that was a complete mess and not very fun for him to do. He did do a pretty good job, and I'm very happy with the result. Then I did most of the cutting of the greenery because, as someone suggested, we could use our greenery from felling the trees to fill the boxes with. It's sort of a mini version of hügelkultur. I don't know actually how you say that in English. Maybe you just pronounce it slightly differently, but it's a permaculture principle, and normally you would bury like a great big logs, but obviously we can't fit great big logs into this, and this is mostly pine. The boxes are now ready to be filled with dirt. We're hoping we bought enough. We got a really good deal on some landing soil, and hopefully we have enough to fill the boxes, because we did calculate how much we would need, and that was simply out of our budget. So we're hoping that by filling it with all the greenery we need less, and then we know we have to top it off next year, obviously, when all this dies down. We are willing to do that to get off the ground running with less invested this year. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to fill the boxes with the dirt, and we aren't filling them with dirt only. We are filling them with a mixture of dirt and the free compost. If you've been watching for a while, you know I've been talking about this free compost day where we can go and get as much free compost as we would like, or rather until they run out. We managed to get 1 trailer load, which isn't a ton, but hopefully it will be a decent amount. It is very concentrated compost, so we cannot use more than 1/3. Probably should use less than that, but we'll see what we end up doing. There's a few other things I want to point out around the property while we're at it. You can see the beehive. Fingers crossed my bees will get here this month. We are just waiting for the weather to warm up. We need the weather to hit 15 degrees Celsius before the inspector can go and inspect the bees. And in Denmark it's illegal to sell or buy bee families that haven't been inspected. So we are waiting for that to happen. I want to turn you slightly and show you our fruit bushes. Here are our fruit bushes, and I don't know if you can tell. Yes, there are weeds. You can probably see over there. That's a tulip, and there's actually a couple of tulips, and I'm not removing those anytime soon. I am wondering what to do with the dirt, because we are all obviously going to step places to collect the fruit. So I'm wondering if I should do some pavers, or how to go about making a space where we can step, so it's defined where you can step and where you can't. And then I might have to dig up those onions and move them, but right now they're just going to stay there and be wonderful tulips soon. Let's get a close-up on the plants. This is one of the blueberry bushes, and I hope you can tell how much it's beginning to leave out, and there's a little leaf. And if we continue over, here's another one of our bushes. I can't for the life of me remember what we planted in here. I have it inside and I have to go look and note it down, but right now I can't remember. And over here you have our raspberries, and the fall raspberry is looking pretty dead. It doesn't look alive at all, so I'm very excited to see if that has just passed away or what happens with that one. But the other 3 raspberries, the summer raspberries, are all budding, and some of them are leafing out already. I'm pretty sure those will give us some sort of harvest. This is our front doorstep, and I just want to show you how the hydrangeas are coming along and how our potted spring bulbs are coming around really nicely. These were from last year, and I was Not sure they would survive and thrive again this year in the pots, but so far so good. This is some of all the soil we bought, and there's a lot of it. So hopefully it will be enough. I doubt it, I'm not sure. That black pile right there is a compost. Doesn't look like much right there, but it is a full trailer load. This pile doesn't look much different, but as you can tell from all the sawdust, I have actually been out with the chainsaw and sawed up all the small bits that I could manage. So right now we have to borrow a bigger chainsaw from our neighbor, and I will leave my husband to handle that part of the sawing up. We still have a massive amount of cleanup to do after the tree felling adventure. There's more in the backyard. It's a massive amount, but right now we're just focusing on getting the kitchen garden plantable. Right here we used to have 6 colourful pots with strawberries in them. I'm not sure if I showed them to you or not, but I've sold them and I managed to make like 100 Danish crowns, which is not very much, but I was ready to put them in the trash because I hated them. They were not my style and they weren't very functional. The plants didn't work. I didn't want to plant new plants in them because I really disliked them. So they've been sold, which makes me very happy. In the greenhouse we did have one casualty. The sage got really scorched by the sun one day. I'm not sure if I've saved it, but it does have 2 little green leaves on one stem, so we will give it a chance. Otherwise everything is looking decently good in here, giving you a tiny view of everything, and I'm really hoping we can plant all of these out and then use this greenhouse for maybe a couple of tomato plants. This is where the sandbox used to be, and I'm very happy we moved the sandbox before the tree guy came. There's some decently sized pieces of wood here to cut up, and it's going to take a while. It's going to take all year, I think. And here's the rhubarb, also starting to come along really nicely. All 3 plants are coming up, so I'm hoping we'll have a lot of rhubarb this year. And that's how the garden is looking. I can tell by my skin that I've been outside a lot these past few days and I've really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to take you along as we expand the garden, as we plant all of those frames, and I just hope we have a really great harvest this year and learn a lot so we can use next year. I wish you all the best in your garden and all your other endeavors. Bye for now.